Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat down below, where you're from, what sort of content you create. It's always great to see. It's great to see people jumping on early. It's amazing. Welcome. Y'all have tuned in for a good session today. We've got some good content to cover. We'll kick it off in just a bit, and this is recorded, so you'll get the recording and slides after the live session. So if you're not able to stay for the whole thing, or you join late or want to share it with your team, you can do that. Welcome in from the US, Sweden, Croatia, Morocco. Appreciate you all joining. A lot of different use cases on the call today, which is always great to see. Different content. Zimbabwe, that's awesome. I think that might be our first attendee from Zimbabwe. Thanks for joining. All right, so it's officially 1 minute after. We're going to kick it off, but like I mentioned, this is recorded, so no worries if you join a little bit late. Welcome everyone to Create and Captivate, Amplify Your Designs with Issuu and Canva. We've got a good session in store for you today, a lot of great insights and some pro Canva and Issuu tips and tricks. So let's dive in. My name is Talius. If you've attended another Issuu webinar, you've seen me before. I'm a demand marketing manager at Issuu. I'm from Chicago. I really enjoy some coffee and I race bikes in my spare time. And I'll turn it over to our guests today to introduce themselves.
Hi, yeah, my name is Meredith Hassett. I am a senior developer advocate at Canva. I have gotten my scuba certification and I actually got to dive in the Great Barrier Reef last summer, which was really awesome. I just started a wine training course and I run the wine club at Canva in San Francisco. And I moved to San Francisco without having been here, and I've now been here for 10 years. And I absolutely love being a West Coast girl after growing up and spending my whole life on the East Coast. But I'm excited to share more about Canva and the Canva Developers Program and the Issuu app with you all here today.
Thanks so much for joining. It's really great to have you on and get your insights and the Canva's perspective about integration and, like you said, the developer platform. I'll also mention our member of our customer success team, Alessandro. Thank you for being here. He's going to be helping out with any questions you have today during the call. So just to kind of go through the flow of what we're looking at today, as I mentioned, this is recorded, so you'll receive the slides and recording right after the live event. So if you registered, if you attended, you'll get that in your email and can share it with whoever you like. There's also the chat and Q&A open below. So the chat is where you've been introducing yourselves. Feel free to comment, add more thoughts and insights there. But if you have specific questions, we ask that you put that into the Q&A section, just so we don't miss them. So Alessandro is able to see them and we can cover any questions we miss at the end of the live session today. The majority of the webinar is going to be a live presentation. We're going to get, insights from Meredith, advantages of using Issuu and Canva together, and we'll end with a full app demo. And then we're going to have a bit of a live Q&A at the end. But we are going to start with just a quick poll, which I'll launch now. So just a few questions here about who on the call uses Issuu, who on the call uses Canva, and who uses that combo of both. It's always good to see. All right, and while you're filling that out, I will give a brief reintroduction to Issuu. I know many of you on the call are Issuu users, but some of you are not. So Issuu is a digital content transformation platform. So we go from creation to publishing to sharing to analyzing. So the full flow of content creation into distribution. You can upload a PDF or a file from any source, including Canva, and turn that into a variety of digital assets, including a flip book, a mobile article, a social post, etc. Share that out across any channels, embed it on your website, and then go back and track the results. And this whole flow is improved and made better through our app on Canva and vice versa. And we'll dive into that today. So Meredith, can you tell us a little bit more, kind of a general overview of Canva? Obviously, a lot of people on the call know what Canva is, but just a refresher and then some more details that you might not know. I'll play this little video here.
Absolutely, yeah. So Canva's mission is to empower anyone to be able to design, especially in an increasingly digital world where everything is visual and we're communicating. Like even today, we're using a presentation to do so. Unfortunately, it's a Google slide, not a Canva presentation, but that's okay. But we think about like social media or like online, like websites and stuff like that. Like we are all communicating in a visual way these days, and it doesn't have to be a skill set that only a select set of trained personas are able to access. We really want to empower everybody across the globe to be able to design. And we've successfully seen that with over 170 million creators on the Canva platform, creating over 2 billion designs. So we're really excited about the growth that we've seen on Canva, and we continue to see more growth and more features on Canva. So everything from being able to edit videos, add text to designs, translate designs, use a whole bunch of templates created by Canva professionals that were already well designed and tested to help you succeed in whatever your goals are. You're able to upload and manage assets, add elements, add voiceovers to the Canva designs as well. And we're continuing to add a new set of features. So our big Create event is coming up in a couple of weeks. So I can't tell you just yet what's coming soon, but definitely stay tuned for that if you're interested to see what the latest for Canva is. And if we want to learn more about the types of content on Canva and who's using it, if we go to the next slide. So we have a whole different suite of users that are already on Canva. It's everything from marketing and creative professionals, agencies, and sales organizations. So we see like a lot of pitch decks on Canvas. Startups and founders use it a lot to pitch to their investors. And then we have a massive education component of it as well. We see a lot of teachers, students, and professors on Canva using it to create interactive learning materials and more engaging learning materials. Small business, real estate professionals, a lot of real estate professionals use Canva to do all of their assets for their flyers, for their open houses and their new listings. We have, I'm trying to think of like, we have so many different types of users on the platform. Mortgage brokers are using us a lot now. And yeah, like social media teams use it, small mom and pop shops that need to create their assets for their website or their in-store presence as well. So we have a ton of different types of users on the platform, which means we also have endless use cases. And then to support those use cases, we have a ton of content types as well. So we have docs to help you write your proposals, presentations to be able to communicate, brochures and magazines. We actually just created the magazine for Nicole Kidman's Lifetime Achievement Award. So if you saw that, then that magazine was entirely created in Canva. Social media posts, big one, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, a lot of content is created on Canva for that. Graphs and charts, so really trying to make data visualization even easier and more accessible. Apparel, we do have a whole print shop. So I have like a little Canva t-shirt that was designed and printed on Canva. We also enable you to create flyers, brochure, like bifold, trifold brochures, cards, stationery. We even have a websites component. So there's a lot of different content types that are available on Canva. And while some of this does become physical content, most of Canva's content does still remain on the web. And there needs to be a way for users to be able to consume that digital content inside and outside of Canva as well, which is why we love partnering with Issuu, because we know that you guys support the publish process beyond like we do a lot of like presenting of presentations and stuff like that. But when it comes to a lot of these digital versions of traditional print media, that's not a use case that we are super embedded into. And products like Issuu are super helpful in making sure that users get the best experience when they're engaging with that type of content online.
Yeah, a couple things you said stood out to me there. I think from even the beginning of the importance of visual communication, I think that visual communication, even on, especially on digital platforms, is really vital. And for a lot of people, it's the way they consume information the most effectively. So, a platform like Canva making visual communication on digital platforms accessible to everyone, I think is really valuable for whatever use case you have here, whether you're a marketer, whether you're a student, being able to communicate your ideas, grow your business, and making that accessible for people who don't necessarily have years of design training or are familiar with more advanced or complicated design tools. I think that's incredibly valuable. And then I also think this overlap here between the users and content types that you see on Canva here that you have listed and that we see on Issuu, there's a really natural alignment there. So we see very similar users, whether or not you're in marketing or you're a student or you're a teacher or you're a design agency or you're in real estate, et cetera. So we see a lot of the similar content users, and a lot of the content types overlap as well. Like you said, some of the stuff isn't exactly the same, but whether you're creating a catalog or a portfolio brochure, that's all stuff, or other content types, that's all stuff that flows really naturally into Issuu.
Yeah.
And I know there's also this awesome developer program at Canva, which Issuu is a part of. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we just launched last June our new developers program that allows third parties to build apps, just like Issuu built one. So with our apps SDK, you're able to actually embed your technology into Canva and get access to Canva's 170 million users to be able to create sorry, to be able to use your product inside of Canva while they're creating. So the Issuu app is really great. It's able to actually like help you preview your designs. You're able to see what types of content you're able to create on Issuu. And if you've already um, signed in and connected your Canva account to your Issuu account, you can also see how previous designs have performed to help you inform better which designs to be using. So that's really helpful with users' workflows to be able to create a more integrated process where you're not having to context switch all the time and you're able to get the information that you need inside of Canva while you're actually working on that physical design. And coming very soon is our Connect APIs. And so this will be the inverse. So you'll be able to embed Canva into your third-party system. So this way, in the future, hopefully, Issuu will be able to have select Canva designs that they know perform really well right there on Issuu. So if you are starting an Issuu, you're not 100% sure what kind of design, you're not a creator, you just want a little bit of help getting started, you'll be able to see the best performing types of templates from Canva in Issuu. And then if you want to edit it, over to the Canva editor, make some edits, and then immediately upload it back to Canva. So we're really looking into opportunities to streamline those user workflows and make sure that digital communication is accessible to everybody when they need it at the touch of their fingers. And so we're really excited to have Issuu as an app, and fingers crossed you guys will also be in integration in the coming months.
That's really cool that it's the flip-flop. So it, tailors whether or not you're starting an Issuu or you're starting in Canva, you can still get that full experience that you get now with the Issuu app. And I know, from the Issuu side of things, we had already seen a large increase before we had the app on Canva. We saw a large increase in people uploading to Issuu from Canva, even with the couple added steps that, the app eliminates. And so that's part of the reasoning why we went in and created and developed the app. And it's fantastic that, obviously Issuu is an app on Canva, but that the whole developer system kind of makes Canva so much more effective because there's so many more tools now at your fingertips outside of the already, suite of tools that Canva offers. So that's awesome. And that's awesome to hear about the Connect APIs as well.
Yeah, so just a little bit about what's been going on in our Canva apps ecosystem over the last year. We've already hit almost 200 apps in just that 1 year. And we've seen a lot of fantastic growth in that 1 year. So we've had over 25x growth in terms of Canva users using apps over the last year. So we've seen a massive explosion, and that's just going up. And as we're finding new opportunities to expose apps within the Canva editor for users. So we're super excited about the popularity of apps. Clearly, there's a need within the Canva user base to get access to these tools. So we're super, super excited about that. And we love how much it streamlines the workflow for content creators. So you're able to bring all of your assets, no matter where they live. So we also have like apps like G Drive and Binder. So if you are currently using a third-party asset management tool, you're able to simply integrate without having to switch tabs or context again, and be able to get access to all of those assets in Canva. And then we have published apps like Issuu, where you're able to then send those completed designs back to your third-party hosting platforms to be able to make sure that you're able to share that design with the world in the right format for you. And so we're really continuing to try to improve design efficiency, reduce that context switching, and make the fun part of the job more part of it, and remove all of that kind of admin work that you have to do of downloading and then re-uploading somewhere else. We want to try to streamline that process as much as possible and make sure that the creation process is just as fun as it can be.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think it speaks to the fact that especially these days, there's more and more tools popping up every day that you want to kind of incorporate into your larger marketing strategy, into your content creation process. So having integrations with Issuu and Canva and other tools, like you mentioned, storage tools like G Drive, et cetera, being able to sync all those together in one place and pull from all those different channels without having to switch and re-upload and download, I think is just super effective and makes things way more streamlined.
Yeah, I mean, I personally created like my own app to streamline my own processes. So we're super
Amazing.
excited about what it enables. And yeah.
That's really cool. And a lot of this we've already touched on, but can you maybe speak to any last details about kind of specifically what the Issuu app brings to Canva users that they might not otherwise have access to?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we don't allow for like a lot of different publishing types in Canva. So a lot of our designs continue to live inside of Canva. So like you can present directly from Canva, and then you can like download from Canva. But we know that that's not where the content ends up living at the end of the day. And so we want to be able to make sure that you're able to get it directly to where it needs to go with one simple click. And so the Issuu app allows you to immediately upload your content. First, you can preview your content to make sure you like the way that it looks and it's fitting what you need without having to like commit to uploading that. And once you're ready and you like the design, you're able to just simply submit it back to Issuu with just one click. And then Issuu is able to handle your publication process for you, which is fantastic. And then the other thing that is really fantastic, again, is the analytics inside of Canva. So instead of having to like flip flop back and forth between those tabs of like, okay, which one of my Issuu designs worked the best, you're able to get that information in Canva if you already have your account connected between Canva and Issuu. So it really does simplify that process and make sure that your designs are going exactly where you need them in the format that you need them to be. So you're ready to host that and publish that wherever it needs to go. So we love how much it simplifies that experience of users being able to consume the content in the best way possible for the content that they created.
Yep. And I think the flip side of that same coin, like I mentioned earlier, we're already seeing an issue that a large portion of people uploading content are doing so from Canva. So having that integration kind of really fully enables that full circle. So you can go right from the creation tool, Canva, to that sharing and distributing, and then looking at statistics back in Canva to inform future content you create. And so it really kind of brings it home fully. So this brings us to, I wanted to share some examples that I have on deck today of Issuu users that have created content in Canva and used the app to push that to Issuu. So we have here, this is an example that I really liked. It is an Artisan WordWorks and Design Studio client book. So I'll just flip through a few pages just to get a sense for some of the different kinds of content that you can create in Canva and then upload to Issuu. You'll see, an embedded link here, which we'll look at in the full demo later. We have this other example that I really like. This is a Parks and Recreation example. So as Meredith was mentioning earlier, it's not just limited to one type of content or one type of user or even one length of content. As you see, this is a 48-page document, which I think is fantastic. I think sometimes when people think, of Canva, they think of shorter documents, but you can really publish, sophisticated and really lengthy materials here. I like how these guys have the QR codes embedded in their document as well, which is fantastic. And then this is a use case that I really like. This is a menu. So we see a lot of restaurants, cafes publishing on Issuu, and then, creating that content in Canva. And I think especially for a use case like a restaurant where you may not have, let's say, a dedicated designer, this is a great tool to be able to go and, spend, a couple minutes building this content from a template and then sharing it, and then you're good to go. We'll talk about an Issuu, how you can actually turn this into a QR code. So if you're at a restaurant, you can have your customers scan the QR code and it takes them right to the menu here. So just a few examples that I wanted to share. And I have a few others linked in this presentation. We have a newsletter example here. And then this is a listing brochure, real estate, which I know is a use case and a content type for both Canva and Issuu. So you will get these slides and recording after, and feel free to take a more detailed look at some of these examples here. Which brings us to demo time. I know you all want to get into how exactly this app works. So let's take a look. We'll go back. So, the start of this flow would be obviously starting in Canva. And one of the tools I like to point out when it comes to Canva, one of the benefits is that you can look for templates for pretty much anything, including content that you'd want to upload to Issuu. So you can just search for that here. I'll do catalog, and then you can see all of these catalog templates pop up. And what I like to check for is to, check the number of pages that these templates have. And then, especially for content on Issuu, it really works the best for multi-page content. So that flipping experience. So you can go here and, set a variety of filters if you're looking for another specific, filter that we don't have currently on here. You can go ahead and search for, I think portfolios are really another great use case. So there's, again, a variety of different portfolios you can choose from. So, these templates we've shown and the variety of others allow you to kind of jumpstart that content creation process. So Canva makes it really easy to design from scratch, but also starting from one of these templates, even just looking through these for some inspiration, I find is really helpful. So now we'll go back to a design that I've actually started. This is a furniture catalog. So you can see here, it is a multi-page document. There's, a variety of different information. And obviously it wouldn't necessarily be the finished product. You would go ahead and use Canva's editing tools. You can upload images, etc. But for the sake of time, we're going to start right from having your finished document and going to locate the Issuu app in this menu here. So as you can see, Issuu is actually listed on the bottom here, which is because I've used the app before and I've connected to it. But for the first time, you would go to apps on the left-hand side here, just search for Issuu, and then it should be the only one that comes up. And then you have a few options here. So one, like we mentioned briefly, you can actually preview what your document would look like on Issuu in a variety of the content types we provide, without having to connect to your account and upload it. So you can do that just by exporting the preview, and then go ahead and export that. And this just takes a few moments depending on the size of the content or the size of the document. Great. And so once this is completed, now you can see that this little preview playing up here is the piece of content that you've just created. So you can see what that would look like as a flipbook, as an embed. So this is taking that Issuu document and publishing it on your own website. Is a GIF, perfect for sharing via email or social, or a social post in Issuu's social editor. And then you can actually take this link and preview the document kind of in a full screen view. It looks like really how it looks like on Issuu. We'll open this up right here. And so this would look like what the published document really is in Issuu. You can flip through it, but it is not fully published. So this is, again, just a preview link that will expire. So now let's say you're ready to go. It looks great. Go ahead and click connect here on the bottom, and then you'd connect to your existing Issuu account. And so this is just taking me to another window where I accepted. Okay, so after you connect to your issue account, this is the screen you'll get to on the left here. As you can see, we have a tab for drafts, which are content that you've been uploaded to issue but that have not been published. And you can see your published documents. Obviously, if you have not used the integration before, this will all be blank. We've connected to Issue's issue accounts. We have quite a few documents in here. So once you can also see the account you're connected to right up here on the top left, and then refresh on the top right here. So just some tips there. But now that you're ready to actually export the draft, so you've connected your issue account, but the draft has not been uploaded. So you're going to do that here, export draft. You can select the number of pages you want to export, but I assume in most use cases that will be the full document. And then go ahead and export. And similar to the preview, this is just going to take a few moments. And here we go. This is the next screen you get to. As you can see, it says unpublished on issue. So this has now been published on a draft as issue, on issue, but it's not been fully published yet. So you can go ahead and select publish now. And then you can, have a few settings here that this is where you would normally, set the title and the availability. These are settings you normally be able to access on Issue's platform, but you can now do so within Canva. So you can just title this here. We'll do demo, and then you can set availability. And this means you can have it listed as public or unlisted. Public means it shows up on your public issue profile. So if someone goes to your issue profile, they can look at all of the publications that you have listed publicly. However, if this is something that, let's say, you want to share internally, or you're still working on, you're not sure if it's a final version, you don't want to have it be on your profile yet, more sensitive information, you can mark this as unlisted, which means that only people with the link will be able to access it. So now we'll set this as unlisted for now. One thing to note here is that if you set it as public, you can't go back and set it as unlisted. So just a little pro tip there. So we're going to go ahead and confirm and publish. And it says success, your publication is live. So now you can access that direct publication link. So we'll go to this link here and there we go. So now we've moved into the issue platform, and you can see your publication is live on Issue. You have the title and the availability that you set when we were in Canva. And so now we'll take you through just a few additional features we have here on the Issue platform that you can do to kind of supplement and enhance that content you've created in Canva. So the first of which we'll talk about is our add links and video feature. So you can add that, access these linking settings on the left-hand side here, and we'll walk through the different types of links you can add and edit. So it's a simple drag and drop editor. This is our link editor here in Issue. Let's say you want to add a link, let's say you want to add a link here. You want this whole box to link to your website. Simply just drag and drop there, and then you can link to a specific web page. As you can see here, we also have a shopping link. So if you're making a catalog, you can list specific items that take you to the purchase page on your website. You can add a go-to page link, which we'll demo in a second if you're doing a table of contents. And you actually can insert a video, which we'll show you as well. But for this link, we'll just have it go to issuu.com, but this can be your website or whatever landing page you want. And as you can see, it's now hyperlinked there. So when someone navigates to this page, this link will kind of pop up and glow blue just initially, so you can see that there's a link there. And let's go to the next set of pages here. You can navigate the different pages on the right-hand side. So let's show you how to do one of those go to page links. So this is a table of contents right here. Let's say you want to link each, you want each section to go to that specific page. So you would just select go to page here, and then select the specific page. We'll have this just go to page 1 and then save. And you can go ahead and do this for all of your items here. And then you can quickly create a table of contents. And the final style of link we'll talk about today is embedding a video directly within your Canva content. So you can go here again, just drag and drop. So let's say we have this space marked out. We want to add our video here. We'll do the same thing, drag and drop, and then go to insert video. And let me just go and grab a video link. So grab that, and you can upload. And you can upload a video link from YouTube or Vimeo. So you have to have that content published on one of those channels. And then it's just a copy and paste situation here. And then you have a few options. So you can select that to play and overlay, which means that when someone's flipping through your issue content, they click on the video and it plays in a sort of pop-up above your content, or it can be embedded within this space that you've selected and play there in your document. And it can either play on click or autoplay. I think autoplay looks pretty cool. So we will set that there. And then when you're happy with all this, select continue on the top right. And then your publication has those links added to it. So now you can see this preview here. You can see that one link has been added there. The table of contents link, the go-to page link is there. And on the following page, you have this video that autoplays and is embedded in the publication. So we have a lot of users that really get really creative with the different style of linking, especially with the video embed. So you can do something where a whole page is just dedicated to a vertical style of video, and it can really make the document a much more kind of multimedia experience, which I think is a really fantastic way to engage content in what otherwise would be a more flat viewing experience. And what we'll show you now is some of the ways you can share this content. So we have, I'll show you how to get to the space. So this is so we'll publish these changes, which are just those links. We'll publish the changes. And then, I'll go back again. So here we are. And then you can go to the share tab here. And this is where you can find many of those different formats and mediums for sharing this piece of content. So go to the share tab and you have these options up at the top. So you can do a quick share, and this just takes you immediately to your document page. You can share in a variety of social channels, or you can create a full screen sharing link, which is our most distraction-free reading experience here at Issuu. So if you want a new tab to open up in the browser, no ads, no distractions, solely dedicated to your content, you can create one of these, and you can go ahead and select a different background color. We've automatically selected a few colors that align with the content you've created. You can select the start page, the page layout, if you want it to be a double page flip or just a single page, or even have those pages auto flip. And then once you're satisfied, just select get full screen link, and then you can copy this link and quickly share it out, via a text, via email, and Slack, whatever you'd like. So it's a really great way to share the content super quickly. And then when someone clicks on that link, this is the reading experience they'll get. So you can see it's solely dedicated to your content, especially for longer form content. You really want people to kind of sit down and take a look through the content you've spent a lot of time, putting thought and energy into the design, through the copy, the text you have on the actual pages. You have this embedded video here. So this is a great way to really have all eyes focused on your content in a digital age where we're so used to scrolling through things very quickly. This is a great way to get a little bit more attention on your content. And so a few other options here at the top, which we'll go through today. The second option is the embed experience. So this is a way that you can actually embed this piece of content on your website. So if you just released the latest edition of your magazine or of your portfolio, and you want this to be featured on your website and take advantage of that website traffic, you can do that really easily with Issuu. So similar experience to the full screen sharing link here. You can go ahead and select a background color to make sure it matches your landing page, select the start page, page layout, etc. And then when you're satisfied, you have this embed code that you can just copy and paste into the website editor of your choice. So, similar to Canva, we're all about making content marketing, accessible to a variety of people. And this is, part of that process. You don't have to know how to hard code or create websites from scratch. So just copy and paste this code, whether that's WordPress, Squarespace, etc. And you can just paste it in, and in minutes you have this embedded seamlessly on your website. So I think that's a really great feature. As I also mentioned, again at the top here, the third option is QR code. This is what I mentioned briefly during the website menu. This is just a QR code that we've generated for you that you can download to your device and kind of use to bridge the gap between the digital piece of content and the physical world. So whether you're at a trade show or an event and you want people to scan this QR code and it takes you to your portfolio that you've created on Canva and upload it to Issuu. It's a great way if you're a student or a professional to do networking. If you want to have this take you to a restaurant menu, to a program guide, to a brochure, to a map, this is a great way to do that. And then one of the final things we'll talk about today is this sharing GIF feature. So this is a really simple editor. You can just select the pages that you'd like from your publication. If it's a much longer publication, this is a great way to just pick and choose a few different pages, and you can download it as a GIF or as a video or export it in MailChimp. So this is a great way to, again, just take this original piece of content that you've created and uploaded, and then share it out in a variety of different ways. So within a few minutes here, it can be on your website. You can have it on your phone or print it out as a QR code. You can share it via email, and you can send a link to, internally via your company or pop that on your website as well. So we're all about, in as little time as possible with as little work as possible to be able to go from, original piece of content to making use of that in a variety of channels. And now we'll navigate back to our document page. And then one of the other things we'll mention as well is that we actually automatically generate mobile articles for you that you can use to share your content across social media. So let's say you put out, like that Parks and Recreation example I showed, where it was a 48-page document, and you want to share, 3 pages of that, include an article about a specific activity that you're doing at some camp in the summer. More than likely, that specific article will be automatically detected by Issuu, and then you can just copy and paste that link onto any social channel to essentially extend the life of this one piece of content. So one thing, we recognize at Issuu is that it takes a lot of work to produce, especially much longer pieces of content. And you want to be able to not just share that across one channel and then it's done and then you've shared it, but be able to share smaller snippets of that across various channels multiple times. So that's why we have these auto-detected articles that we've created here. And then we'll actually go back to Canva for this. So now that you've created your content, you've shared it across a variety of channels, you're going to want to assess how well the content is performing. And you can do that by accessing statistics. So we're going to go into the Publish tab here. And here is, we'll go to, a piece of content that we actually published earlier. Let's do this. Oh, that one doesn't have any reads. Here we go. So we'll actually, I'll explain what I did. And any published content you have here that you have published on Issuu, regardless of whether or not it's a piece of content that you're working on and have uploaded from Canva, you can check statistics for this piece of content. So we can just see a high-level overview of how many reads, how many impressions, how many clicks. That's going to be clicks on the links within your publication, and average read time. So let's say you're back in Canva, you're working on a new publication, and you just want a refresher, generally about what content is working and what content is not. And you can just go ahead through any published document and just check high-level statistics. Within Issuu, you can kind of drill down and take a closer look at more details. So we'll just show a brief look at what that looks like. We'll go back here, and then on the left-hand side, you can find statistics. And so you can see statistics for all publications, or you can drill down into a specific Issuu publication. And again, you can see these high-level metrics that you have access to in Canva. But you can also drill down and look at this over time, reading devices, sources. I'll actually show you what this looks like for a specific publication, because so let's look at this publication. This is the statistics for another publication that's popular on our channel. And you can actually see what specific links have been clicked, how many impressions the links have, and same thing with each specific page. So you can take a look at these high-level metrics in Canva. And then if you want just a little bit more insight, you can go back into Issuu and take a look at what's performing here. One use case I like to mention with the links is if you had advertisements within your publication that you've linked to, you can go ahead and kind of say, look, we've driven this number of impressions and this number of clicks for an advertiser that's potentially paying for space within your publication. Just something I like to mention here. And then one of the last capabilities of the Issuu app on Canva, which I think is really cool, is you can take pages from any of your prior publications on Issuu, again, regardless of whether or not you've uploaded that using the app, and use those assets in new Canva designs. So we just have here, let's say this is a random flyer that I'm working on. You can go ahead and select any publication and just simply click on that, and that image has been uploaded to your document. So let's say you want to do this for a few of these ones that have a similar theme. Boom, here they are. You can go ahead and move them around and just manipulate them as you would any other image in Canva you've uploaded from your device or any other source. And so that brings us to the end of our official demo today. Just kind of looking back at that poll that we ran from the beginning, most of you on the call today have used Issuu and have used Canva, but the majority have not used them together. So hopefully after taking a look at really the simplicity that we offer here, I think is the biggest advantage, and just that ease of streamlining that whole flow, encourages both the Issuu users and the Canva users to go and start using these tools together. I'll hop back into our slides here. And this is just generally a refresher about some of these specific capabilities offered with Issuu and Canva. And that brings us to the Q&A section today. I've been seeing some good comments and some questions popping up in the Q&A. Alessandro, do you have any that have stood out to you or that we haven't answered yet that you can field to Meredith and I?
Yes, there are some good ones. The first one is from Joe Mitchell. He wrote, I built my flipbooks on Canva and then embed via YouTube on Issuu, but the end of the result can look clunky and awkward. Is there any tip for him?
And so can you explain that again for me? Where are they uploading with YouTube?
He mentions that he embeds on YouTube via YouTube.
Ah, I see. So he embeds the videos onto the Issuu flipbook via YouTube.
Yeah.
So I guess a few recommendations for making that look as streamlined as possible. One would be kind of, when you're designing the flipbook within Canva, maybe marking out a space that you have set for that specific video. So if you design your content ahead of time and then don't put thought into where you want that video to be located, it can be a little bit distracting and not have a good place to fit. Another thing would just to be mindful of the orientation of the video. So whether or not it's a horizontal or a vertical video. And then the final thing I will add is that actually when you upload from Vimeo, the video will play without the play, pause, and scroll bar on the bottom. So if you're looking for maybe a marginally more streamlined experience there when it comes to the videos, you could try uploading to Vimeo as well. So that would be my suggestions. Great question.
Also, thank you. Another question is from Charlie, and he asked, can you print the catalog if you are the recipient of the publication?
Oh, if you were the recipient of the publication. So yeah, you can allow, so the Issuu user has the capability to allow downloads of the publication. So that means that, let's say I am reading a publication, there'll be a little icon there on the Issuu reader that says download, and you can download that as a PDF and then print it out if you'd like, however you'd like.
Great, thank you. Another question is from Leslie. She says that she used a specific font that represents her brand. Is there a way to use these fonts on Canva? I guess that's for Meredith.
Yeah, that's a great question, Leslie. So if you want to be able to use your own brand's fonts, you actually can. You just need to make sure that you have a Canva Pro or Canva for Teams account, and then you're able to create a whole brand kit with your brand colors, themes, fonts, the whole kit and caboodle. So you definitely can upload your own fonts, but you will need a Canva Pro account to be able to do that.
I know we use that at Issuu, so it's always helpful to have the colors and the fonts on hand.
Yeah, I mean, we use the brand kit all the time at Canva.
Yeah.
I always meet in there.
Yep.
Thank you. Another one from Irene is, if your Canva file has videos in it or graphics that are animated, will they be animated in Issuu?
So I don't believe that videos or animations carry over, but links will carry over. So if you have a link added, just like a hyperlink, within your Canva document, that will carry over, but a video or an animation will not.
Yeah,
Correct.
I want to point out, yeah, so when you're uploading from Canva to Issue, you're uploading it as a flat PDF. So unfortunately, all that interactive content won't be coming with it because it is a PDF style, which is why links stay, but animations and videos do not, because it's just a flat file that's being uploaded.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you. That's pretty much it that I found that's very good to bring it up.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, and I noticed a few questions as well popping up asking about the recording. So yeah, as I mentioned, you'll get this, in just a couple of minutes actually about the recording and the slides from the webinar. So feel free to hop in there to refresh any content you missed or take a look at some of those examples that I shared earlier, or just, watch the demo again to get a feel for how that works. Amazing. So yeah, thank you again, Meredith, for hopping on today. I really appreciated your insights, and I think everyone on the call did as well. And hopefully everyone is leaving encouraged to go give this integration a try, or this app a try for themselves. I know that I've used it multiple times, and it really just makes things much easier for even myself. So regardless of whether you're an individual, you're in a large company, you're in a small business, I think there's definitely a use case there.
100%. Thank you so much for having me. I loved how simple it is to also make that pivot too, because I mean, the thing about it, like if you're at a trade show and you have flyers and you run out, and you really want to quickly be able to get that, you're able to do that with Issuu and Canva together. And so thank you so much for having me here. Hopefully everyone saw the power of Canva and Issuu together and goes and tries out that app on Canva, and sees how much more powerful they can create those publications.
Yes, I totally agree. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.